Yeah, we took $15 off of our price target. This adds a bunch of risk and uncertainty to the name, so we thought that it was appropriate.
Are you still positive, though, because you think their appeal will be successful, or because either way, even with this ruling, they can continue and make plenty of profit?
Yeah, we've been talking to lawyers and patent experts all day. This is a very, very complicated case indeed, and we haven't yet come to an absolute conclusion. I think there's a very large spectrum of outcomes right now, but Qualcomm, in the meantime, will continue with their business, and they have an excellent position in 5G, and that is why we have such a positive rating on the stock.
What's the worst case scenario out of this?
There were a bunch of things that Judge Koh ruled here. Number one, there would be a monitor in all negotiations going forward here. That really puts Qualcomm in a difficult decision. And then ultimately, this opens the door for renegotiations with perhaps all handset makers out there. And if you look at this, if in fact royalties have to be determined on a chip level instead of an end device or handset level, that's a very, very meaningful delta. So that could be the worst case scenario for them.
Ed, is Chris too optimistic about how all this plays out to have a price target of 85?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is not new for Qualcomm. We started covering Qualcomm in 1997, and we've been involved with every one of these battles since. Just about every major customer or competitor of Qualcomm has sued them over their licensing agreements, and it's been our opinion and the empirical data from the companies that they've won. And the reason they won is Qualcomm's licensing agreement is unsustainable. The problem is that there are well over 100 licensees, most of which don't have the wherewithal to sue Qualcomm over this licensing agreement. So when they lose these battles, like they did Nokia in 2006, like they just did with Apple, like they did with Samsung and Nokia or TI and a whole host of others, they usually craft the settlement so it excludes just about everybody else. Excellent example of this was when the Chinese government forced a new licensing agreement on them in 2015. They couldn't get out of that one, and so they crafted it so it excluded Apple. And guess what? 18 months later, Apple sued them. So no, Qualcomm's licensing arrangement, as they posted in 1997 when they first started this, were never going to be sustained. You can see that in the results. Their royalty rates have gone from 6% to about just under 2%. It's probably headed lower than that. And the devastation of this ruling is that it opens up a renegotiation to all those smaller companies that could not fight Qualcomm because they couldn't afford it. So it's going to be ugly.